Hey hun, what do you get if you stack 52 loaves of bread on top of each other?
No clue. What do you get when you stack bread on top of each other?
A deck of carbs.
Hi, and welcome to Suburban Life Permaculture. I'm Holly, and we're so glad you're here with us today. Today we're going to talk about stacked functions in your food forest garden. Now, what do I mean about stacked functions? It could be a plant, or a design, or a structure or a building that have more than one function. So stacking functions is really important anywhere. But it's absolutely vital the smaller space that you have. We're here in the suburbs, so it is really important for us. So if you live in the suburbs like us, or maybe even just have a balcony garden, it will be absolutely vital for you as well. I'm going to take you on a little field trip around the food forest, and we'll talk about some of the plants and structures that we have that have stacked functions. But right this second, I could tell you this American beautyberry has several functions. It has a food that could be for us as well as for the little critters out there. The leaves can be used as a pest control or pest deterrent, and the flowers smell good too. I don't know what smells good here. It's the flowers. They smell lovely. The other would be for this American beautyberry is its habitat. We see birds around here, not only eating but chilling out. We see rabbits that build burrows down here at its feet. So it's got some really great functions in our front bed. So on this little adventure we're going to take you on about stacked functions, we're going to be planting some pigeon pea starts over here. And they're about, I would say, at least a foot tall, maybe close to a foot and a half, probably not anywhere near higher than that. So we're using our cool little tool. And like always, we have our compost.
This is your pigeon pea.
And we have, of course, some water to water in the hole. And let's talk about those functions with pigeon pea. So I don't know if you're familiar with pigeon pea. It's in some interesting cuisines like Indian and Jamaican. But it's a protein-rich food. It does really well in our zone with all the heat. It has some medicinal uses, although I'm not a doctor. Do your own research. I haven't used it quite yet for this because this is our first foray into planting these little trees. It can be an animal fodder. And now he's got one of the pigeon peas in there. And it's already got the compost and the water. And he's just making sure that it's in there nice and tight. And he's going to go ahead and top dress as well. And that means the nutrients will go ahead and seep down as well. And I'll go ahead and throw in some leaf litter on top later. Thank you, baby. Now remember I talked about stacking functions with more than just plants. This decorative border has a stacked function. Slows water down as it comes down this slope and allows it a chance to go deeper into the soil instead of running off and down the street. So this moringa is very similar to the pigeon pea, except while it's still a chop and drop because it's very nutritious, it's not a nitrogen fixer. It is both nutritious and so a nutritious food, and it's medicinal. A big difference is that the pigeon pea is a good wood source. This is good for wood chips. And the reason for that is that this has kind of a brittle wood, so it's perfect for making wood chips. And then, of course, that nutrition goes down into the soil faster. An aquaponics system has several stacked functions. Primarily, it has two sources of food. The plants filter out and the fish fertilize. And when my husband pulls out some of the pond water, we use that as fertilization on other plants. And a note about aquaponics systems. You do not have to have a big setup. You could do it with a little fish tank on your balcony or in your house. You can do it in your garage. I've seen systems set up in a garage in case your HOA is not really too fond of things like this type of setup. So it's really something that pretty much anybody can do. Now, this rosemary is a culinary herb. Of course, it's edible, and has also been known to do some medicinal things. Again, not a doctor, look it up. It is also considered a repeller because it's aromatic, and certain non-beneficial insects are repelled by it. So let's talk chickens. The obvious one, food with the chickens themselves and with eggs. They're great for pest and weed management. The weeds, if you're rotationally moving them around, but I give them weeds when we're giving them their afternoon snack. In fact, that's what Cece's looking for right now. They're great turners of compost, and while they're turning that compost, they're also adding nitrogen to it. And there's a whole bunch more, but those are the basic ones, and the biggest reason why we love having our chickens here. Now, this elderberry, while it's also food and medicine, not a doctor, look it up, it also has been used for dyes and a wood source also, and of course this is the hardwoods down here, but it's also habitat for a bunch of little critters. Let's talk about something that almost everybody has, a roof. That has a stacked function of, one, it's keeping the weather out, and for us, we are also using it to collect the rain. So we have some place for the rain to land and direct into these rain barrels. And if you also have solar, that would be an additional stacked function for your roof. Even your pets can have stacked functions. For example, our dogs, they're companions, protectors. Now, our dogs also feel that they have the additional functions of chicken chaser, squirrel scarer, garden inspector, alarm clocks, and sometimes wood chipper. What kind of plants or structures or builds do you have that could be considered stacked functions? Let us know in the comments below. And I don't care if you like, subscribe, or share. You do you. Carpe diem, y'all.